Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is SP Jimmy, and you're here because you heard about the new Force of Will power set. It was just announced that issue 26, page 3 is coming out, or will have come out by the time you guys seen this video, because it takes me forever to upload. But I appreciate everybody who has joined the channel recently. I've noticed a large number of subscribers and stuff has gone up, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and let's get into this. I have some builds lined up on Pines for us to look at. We'll get to see how maybe we can slot these a little bit as well, because it actually is in Pines, which is awesome. Whether or not there's going to be things that you can do on live with these, or if the numbers have changed, we'll figure that out, but we'll get to look at some, like at least one possible build today. So the powers in order are Weaken Resolve, Project Will, Mighty Leap, Will of Force, and then Unleash Potential. I can see why they added these powers, and I think it's actually a pretty good uh, answer to a problem that we've had for a while, which is certain builds, such as like Poison in PvP, are awesome, but other builds can't really compete or don't have the debuffing potential. But what this does is it says anybody can have that debuffing potential. Anybody can get this plus regen and recovery, some defense, which we'll talk about. It's maybe not. I wish that was resistance instead of defense, but that's okay. And I know why they did that as well. But basically this means they don't have to nerf anybody. They don't need to buff anybody else. I mean, they're still going to make balance changes, of course, but this power set's awesome. So let's read the description. Force of Will grants you access to various powers that allow you to manifest your own willpower and use it to harm your foes. This power pool gives you access to Mighty Leap as your travel power, which, okay, I don't think I'll take it, but thank you. Which allows you to leap great distances. Additionally, while Mighty Leap is active, you gain access to Stomp. Use the Stomp power to knock down nearby foes. Let's go down the order that they have the list in here. It's not in the order that you get the powers, but we can talk about them, and that's okay. You see the order that you get the powers here. You can have Mighty Leap at level 4, Project Will, ranged damage at level 4, and Weaken Resolve, which is really probably one of the only ones I'll take from this set, if I'm being honest. There has to be a way to get to Unleash Potential, so we'll see how maybe we could get to that point as well. Actually, something just occurred to me. Maybe Mighty Leap is the answer we've been looking for. Oh, because then you don't have to waste a slot in your super jump power pool. That's we'll see. We'll see how that lines up. Mighty Leap, while this power is active, you're able to leap great distances, jump incredibly high. In addition, it allows you to use the Stomp ability. I don't know if the Stomp ability is going to make this worth it. I think the only thing that's going to make Mighty Leap worth it is that it gets me one step closer to Unleash Potential without having to remove Super Jump from my build. I would maybe replace this with Super Jump if I wanted, because what do you need? You need Acrobatics from Super Jump if you're going to do PvP, right? And this seems like a buff for PvP that they're entering in here. I don't think the Stomp ability, you can't really enhance it, see? So what's the point? It's a knockdown. That's maybe for any tank who has maybe a primary power set can now do at least one AoE damage. If you can take this on a Peacebringer, you can't use Stomp in your transformed forms, right? You can't do that when you can't have Mighty Leap on to be able to use Stomp when you're a lobster. So that's not going to be helpful there. I think that's just to give a little extra AoE, but I don't really see the potential in this. And we'll need to look at the magnitude for Stomp as well, which we will be able to see on Pines. So you need Acrobatics. You could get Combat Jumping for Luck of the Gambler for the global recharge reduction, but you would still need something in between there. So you'd probably still want Super Jump, right? So why would you take Mighty Leap? Because you're going to take Weaken Resolve, probably Mighty Leap, and I hope that gets you to Unleash Potential, unless you have to take like Wall of Force to get Unleash Potential, but I hope not. It'll show us in Pines. Project Will. You manifest your willpower into a blast and project it toward a distant foe, causing moderate psionic damage and smashing damage, but there's that psionic, that's going to be good. Project Will has a fair chance to knock the target down, so we'll need to look at the magnitude for that as well. But it looks like you can do range damage, you can do knockback, you can get some, I guess, a plus recharge in there with the knockback. And it's already knocked down, so you don't need to change that from knockback to knockdown. That's nice. I don't know. I think it's just something you need to take to get to the next level, but I guess you could spec it. We'll have to see what's available, but I guess you could try to capitalize on the psionic damage, especially if there's like a proc chance on that. But the recharge is fast, so this is actually probably going to be like a set mule that you just put like a 6 slot in there to get the bonus, more so than going for procs in that, I would imagine, because you're probably not even going to use it that much. That's probably what you do it for. Okay, continuing down, Unleash Potential. And what I think is funny is they describe this set as like willpower, right? So it kind of fits with anybody. They're like, you project your willpower, you manifest your willpower. It's like, okay, way to not discriminate any, theory or theme that the character wanted to go for. Unleashing your potential, you grant yourself a moderate boost to defense, regen, nice, recovery, cool, and recharge. Wow, I like that the recharge is actually added in there. I didn't notice that when I first looked at it. Unleash potential allows you to have requires you to have 2 other powers in the force of will. So you only need 2. So you could do Weaken Resolve, Mighty Leap, and then Unleash Potential, and that's probably what I would go for. Don't even waste your time with Project Will and Will of Force. I don't see a need for damage that's not part of my set, unless it's crazy psionic damage that you really need. Unleash Potential will drain a portion of your endurance and prevent you from recovering endurance after its benefits expire. This crash can be mitigated by using the Presence power Unrelenting before using Unleash Force. Ooh, so I'm going to add Presence to one of the builds that I have lined up. Definitely. Okay, we'll add Presence in there. We'll check the magnitudes as well. And it can be a defense set, so you could put Luck of the Gambler in this, and then put maybe another set, or 3-shot Luck of the Gambler, whatever you want to do. Endurance modification, healing, the procs from those you would probably get in something else, but it really depends how much endurance and how much healing it gives you, because you're going to maybe want to maximize the endurance modification if you can. Do you need to maximize the healing? I guess. Oh, you know what? Actually, this is giving you like almost a self heal. It's not going to heal you directly, but it does increase your regen. So anybody can kind of get a self heal now without having to go into the medicine pool too deep to get that aid self. Okay, I'm seeing what this is about. But I wish it was resistance, because, well, Rune of Protection is resistance. If you go in the sorcery pool, you get Rune of Protection, and that's a click similar to Unleash Potential. They're kind of the same ability, it looks like. But Rune of Protection gives you a lot of resistance. This gives you a lot of defense. You could do both. You're going to not have much of your primary or secondary, but you could do both, and I guess any character could be maxed then. You could even do that in place of Tough and Weave, and just do, you could even, because sorcery has the you can fly and teleport yourself ability, so that would be fun, because then you have like all the travel powers at super speed, but you need hasten anyway, so you might as well get super speed as well. Wall of Force, you project an unfocused blast of sheer force at foes in a short wide cone in front of you, dealing moderate psionic damage and smashing damage, and potentially knocking that anyone you hit in the cone down. Wall of Force requires you to have 2 other powers from the Force of Will power pool. You have to have 2 others to get that? No way. I thought that was like a stepping stone to Unleash Potential. No way am I going to get that. You overwhelm your foe with sheer strength of will, reducing their defense and damage resistance, while boosting your own chance to hit. So this is the one that I'm most excited for. It takes the same slots. Here it says it takes 2 hit buff. We'll have to see that. But the defense debuffs and the accurate defense debuff are the same slots that you could get for a poison, the tier 2 ability. I think it's not weaken, it's the other one. But it takes the same slots as that. So we'll get to look at the differences in the amounts there as well. All right, we're going to switch over to a build that we have. So this first one is a Fire Blast Bio Armor Sentinel, and it was a build that I picked up online, and all I did was I took away some of the powers that didn't contribute to their defense or resistance. I took out athletic regulation. That's hard to say. I took out super speed. I took out super jump, and I think I left in link mines because I want to see the buff from that. I left in anything that would affect that. Wow, even Unleash Potential, look right off the bat. It's going up to 52-ish% from 39, maybe 40% medium. Wow, that's pretty good. That's not even enhanced yet. All right, so let's see what enhancements these take. We'll go down in order. And if we need to do a comparison, I also have this build open and ready to go, which is a poison build, and we can compare the enhancements here, and then we'll go down and we'll see maybe if Power Boost has a play in there as well. Because Power Boost gives any of your abilities that give plus defense are going to be upgraded. So your Unleashed Potential is going to be upgraded just from the Power Boost. We could even see here with nothing enhanced, I go Unleashed Potential. Okay, it's giving you 15% base. Cool. And then if I Power Boost that, it's 30%. And that's going to last the whole time that Unleashed Potential is going. The duration for Unleashed Potential, it doesn't say here, does it? Where did I go? Unleashed Potential. It doesn't say how long it lasts. I'm going to assume it's 90 seconds. No, it says a short while. Oh, I can't navigate out of here without touching another one. I don't know how you do that and get out of here. Nah, I'll figure it out later. Okay, let's go back to our original build. So we can resolve, and the totals for this, like right off the bat, without any of the Unleashed Potential or anything, without Link Mines, about 35% defense, 65% resistance. So a pretty decent build, and it's got procs. It looks like he's got some sets in here, good procs on Dominate. I like all the, there's no minus recharge, it's all procs. For a good long recharge is going to make that proc happen more often, but you get your global down, you get hastened, and you see it only takes about 8 seconds to recharge. It's probably even less than that at points. Yeah, I don't have hasten on this build either to see. It could be less, and you're going to get those procs off almost every time, or pretty often. So Weaken Resolve is able to take defense debuff and accurate defense debuff. I would imagine that you slot this the same way that you would slot for the poison version, which is Envenom. So Envenom gives minus resistance, minus defense, minus regen, and minus heal. Weaken Resolve gives minus resist, minus defense, and self +2 hit. So Weaken Resolve, actually these are next to each other. So Weaken Resolve is buffing your 2 hit, but not taking away their 2 hit or their special. And I think that's still okay, but it's not taking away like their build-up effect or anything like that. Furthermore, you don't have, unless you're also poison, you don't have the Envenom ability, or sorry, the Envenom, the Weaken ability, which is going to give you minus damage, minus 2 hit, minus special. Sorry, I messed these up. Envenom is the same. Nope. It also gives minus regen and minus heal. There we go. So it's also giving a pretty necessary thing. I mean, Envenom, Weaken, why not take all of them? This is just going to put Poison in a really good spot because they can take all of it now. That's just a major buff to them. Plus they get the minus damage. Plus they're hitting the opponent more. And they're getting rid of the opponent's regen and healing effects. It's still going to make anybody good. The Force of Will set is still going to make anybody better. But wow, just with poison, that's going to be intense. I can't even imagine. Now's the time to roll that. I wouldn't even say do Energy Blast. I would change that up maybe. Oh, to mess everything up. But do Poison Dark, Poison Psychic, Poison Ice. Those would be good ones. All right. So Envenom has the same ones as Weaken Resolve. Sorry, I got the names confused earlier because it has the name Weaken and then the poison has the name Weaken, which is pretty confusing. Let's see. I would imagine that you could put some procs in here. What do you really need to buff? You do want to buff the defense debuff for sure. Whether you go for a set with a bonus or whether you go for procs is, I guess that's going to be up to depending on what class that you have. But we see we might do a 6 slot because you're going to be using it every time. That's for Envenom. I would imagine that you would 6 slot Weaken Resolve as well in a similar fashion. You could do a bunch of, you definitely want the chance for res debuff in there. I think, at least on Pines, you can have that in multiple places. I think you can do that on live. I haven't tested it, but that would be the way to do it. Because then you're giving even more minus resistance, only because it's a minus defense ability. On 2 abilities, that would be amazing. Chance for lethal damage. You could, I think it depends. There's not a huge buff to hit points anywhere beyond 1.5%, but you can get that more in other places. It's always good to have more hit points, but you'd have to go Lady Grey for that. 2 slot it, maybe negative damage and defense debuff. That would be good. Defense debuff. And then... where does that put me? I could even go higher. But there I've already slotted and I get plus hit points and I get plus damage buff. I don't really need defense in PvP. And if I was going for the Unleashed Potential, I might get that as well. Yeah, I could go up to 5 on Lady Grey, but I don't think that's necessary. I could though. I could go here. No, I can only go 3 on Lady Grey. What am I talking? Or 4 on Lady Grey. I don't think it'd be worth it. Something like that, and then what if maybe an extra 2 after that? But I'd have to play it on live to know. Mighty Leap, I would imagine that you slot that the same as you would slot Super Jump. I don't think that you would want to take both Mighty Leap and Super Jump, but I would imagine that Mighty Leap changed. Let's see, it 2,780 jump on self, and Super Jump is going to give us the same. Okay, so they are the same. So at least get a knockback protection on there for Blessing of the Zephyr. You could get the buffs to the run speed and flight if you don't already have that through some other set, right? I would say get it on some other set if you can get, I don't know which one would have it here, but a lot of them will have, some of the lower sets will have a increase to your travel speeds. There you go. 4.5% speed jump, jump height, speed flying. Your flying speed, I think, is capped by default anyway. So it's really only speed and jump that you could modify. And I think you can do that through set bonuses if that's possible. If not, maybe throw 1 or 2 on there. And you can see here, one of the blessings with the endurance, so slightly less, is 26% modification. The other one is 42%. So if you want to go really faster, do that. Or do both. And then you're also getting a little bit of defense in there as well. With the other special for the travel power, I usually put it in super speed. So if he has, I believe he has it somewhere here. I would usually put the resistance to slow in super speed. And same thing, maybe if you need it, the extra travel speed, but not necessarily. Gives me some resistance effects. Increases that. Managed to recharge time debuffs. That's nice. Going down to Project Will. So that would be here. You can slot it for targeted AoE damage, knockback, and universal damage, which is the overwhelming force. So knockback to knockdown, which you don't really need there because it is knockdown, I believe. Anyways, you could put a force feedback plus recharge. You could do... I don't even think you would take this ability, honestly. I mean, what would you slot it for? The recharge on Project Will is supposed to be really short, and the recharge on Will of Force is supposed to be longer. Let's see, 10 seconds from 15 seconds. Okay, because I got some recharge from there. So 15 seconds. So you could proc this up pretty well, I'd imagine. Chance for Immobilize, if you want that on a cone, that's probably a better proc to have on Wall of Force. I would say chance for res debuff, definitely from Annihilation. And it already has chance for... Well, you could do another chance for knockdown. I think that would just kind of make sure it knocks down everybody every time, or pretty close to it, if you had like an accuracy in there. And then, I mean, imagine just going into Ragnarok from there, because it's the purple set and you'd want to maximize your damage and then maximize something besides recharge. I want accuracy recharge. Damage. I can't just have accuracy without recharge. It's between these two. I have to have recharge with it. So maybe I don't do accuracy on it. And I just say damage endurance. Gets the damage up before diminishing returns. Could go a little bit higher if you wanted to. What would be the only benefit of doing that? You get a little bit more accuracy. Oh, well, there you go. So you get your accuracy from that. So you go, nope, everything else is recharged. Don't want it. Maybe there's another proc that you could throw. Maybe you go chance for plus recharge, and that's how you get it. All right, so that was... Oh, it's hard to do these in order because they're backwards, and they all have the name Will or Wall, and it's freaking me out. All right. Project Will has the same. It can do the plus recharge from knockback if you want an extra one. Overwhelming Force. And it gets chance for minus speed, minus recharge. Okay. Just saying, like, if you slotted into this, what would you do? I probably wouldn't even take this ability, if I'm being honest. Alright, so you get... It comes back further. Minus speed, minus recharge. Well, then you're just set muling it, right? So I might as well just go for full Superior's winner bite, I believe. I would just 6-slot this, unless I wanted to 6-slot a PvP enhancement. Yeah, because then if you were to use it, you would be doing psionic and toxic damage. And there's a lot of recharge in that. It's kind of a waste. Apocalypse. Maybe slotting a purple in there, but you'd probably want Apocalypse on something that you'd actually use. So just looking through, and then whatever set bonus goes well for you. I probably wouldn't put the chance for build up in there. No. Yeah, maybe I just 6-slot Superior Winner's Bite if I were to do that. Alright. And I suppose that I should just go ahead and 6-slot that, because I want to see what the effects would be. Oops. If I had these all set. I believe that I thought you could put multiple knockback reductions as well, so that would be good for between Super Jump and Mighty Leap, that you just stack your knockback protection in there, because you have one in each. If you took both. I don't recommend taking both, but you could. The only reason that you would want to take both is because you need 2 abilities to get to Acrobatics, and Acrobatics is essential in PvP, and it gives you res to knockback as well. Or maybe the knockback one. And then combat jumping, you kind of want that because it gives you the plus recharge speed and it helps you get to Acrobatics. But then it's like, what do you take if not Super Jump to get there? So you're kind of doing a trade-off. It's unfortunate because I don't really want Spring Attack. You could teleport to your enemy. I think you click on them and then it teleports you to them. You don't get to pick where you go, I don't think. That would be cool because you can close the gap if you were a melee. No, but you can't even have Spring Attack. What am I talking about? You can't even have it until you get Acrobatics. So that's a waste. So it's Jump Kick. No way am I taking Jump Kick. I just say, yeah, just take Super Jump and Mighty Leap, and then put an extra knockback reduction in there. And you'd be good to go. And then if you want to use Stomp, you can. But the endurance cost for Mighty Leap is 0.29. Well, that's enhanced, though. Let me get rid of the endurance modification. For Mighty Leap, it takes 0.36. For Super Jump, 0.46. Okay, so Mighty Leap does have a slightly reduced endurance cost than Super Jump, so you could potentially leave it on in combat, so you could use the Stomp ability, but you can't enhance Stomp, so I don't see the point in it. It's more than a gimmick, or to fill... there must be like a melee that really needs that Stomp for some reason, or else why would they add it? Unless it can hit players, or be benefited of Power Boost, that would be cool. Then anybody has a knockdown. And looking now at Wall of Force. So that is... Wait, did we do... Oh, we did do Unleash Potential. Sorry, that's the one I want to talk about first. We did Wall of Force, I think. So Unleash Potential. Okay, big one here. Doesn't look like it can take a plus resistance enhancement, but it can take plus defense. So I'm just going to put Luck of the Gambler in there right away. And then I can go for a 3-slot if I want the 1.13% hit points, or I can go Reactive Defense and get 1.88 hit points. It's like 19 hit points versus 11 on, and then scales up. I might even just do Shield Wall because it gives you 22 hit points with 3, a little regen bonus. Mez Repel. Yeah, I'd probably just 3-slot Shield Wall after that. If you don't have somewhere else to put your plus resistance to teleportation and plus 5 resistance to all, put it somewhere else. I'm gonna keep that out for now, but I'll put it in on another ability if I can, which I think, like combat jumping, I could do it here. Okay, I'm gonna waste a slot over there. Well, nah. If I have the ability, if I have the space to slot it, I'd like to keep Shield Wall together, but I probably have Shield Wall somewhere else in my build as well. Let's do Defense Recharge, because I don't need a proc. And then the last one. Do I need the straight defense? I want to go higher on the defense than that. I could do a 4-slot and get... If I do 5, I get a damage buff. So I could hard cap the Shield Wall with defense, or all of it. Ooh, there you go, perfect. So I would just do everything except the straight defense for Shield Wall, and then do a Luck of the Gambler, and then I'm getting the 5-slot there. That'd be fine. I'm not going to get any benefit from doing the straight defense versus the teleport resistance thing, so I might as well throw it in there, and I think that would be okay as well. And that's going to really make this come back fast. It looks like it takes the recharge down to 251 seconds, down from 600 seconds. And then I don't even have... I'll take... Acrobatics isn't going to help me much now we already talked about it. I'm going to go to Hasten. And I always put 2 recharges in that. And now if I activate Hasten, Unleash Potential is 194 seconds versus 251. And if you perma Hasten, which is pretty easy to do, to Invention, Recharge, Reduction, and then you just level them up 5 times, you can perma that. Probably not Unleash Potential, that probably won't be perma. But it'd be a good, like, oh, what do I do? It's a good reactionary button. Okay, so let's look at these totals real quick. I'm not going to slot Dark Embrace. I'm not going to slot any of the other stuff. But let's see just what the base totals of this are. So if I use... Yeah, it's going to be more resistance. Without Unleash Potential, 5.4 and 5. That's if I use Combat Jumping, which I probably wouldn't. And then Power Boost it up to 38%. So that was 15% base before. Now it's a 23% base. And if I use Power Boost first, it goes up to 38%. I don't think that I can increase the defense buff of Power Boost. But Membrane Exposure says enhances recharge, defense, and 2-hit buffs, which I know that Power Boost does. So let's see if that shows up. It doesn't look like it makes a difference. So I don't think that Power Boost can be enhanced that way, but it goes up to an okay amount there. Could I hammy this with Membrane? Defense. Yeah, but you're getting the defense buff from Shield Wall anyway, so it doesn't matter. Not too shabby. The defense isn't going to add as much survivability as resistance would. I really wish this was resistance, but there should be a way, if I get rid of Dark Embrace, Power Boost, and I get rid of, let's say, Hasten for now, and in their place, I go for Sorcery, and I get Mystic Flight, Spirit Ward, and then Rune of Protection, let's say. If I go for Rune of Protection, the base that it gives me is about 30% to 45%. No, 30% to 25%. Sorry. 25 to 30%. All right. So that's the difference that it makes, just sort of base. I can enhance that a little bit, but with the Unleashed Potential, if you just get both of those, will give you 15% defense, but that's kind of the buff that it would give you. I can enhance that Rune of Protection, and let's say that I put a good Aegis set in there. Let's just buff that resistance what we can. Go maybe one higher. Okay. All the way. Perfect. Now it's giving me 47% resistance. And then up to 60% for fire and cold. And then this is on top of if you wanted Tougher Weave, or if your secondary is a defensive set. That's going to be helping you out very, very much. What are some primaries and secondaries that you think would do well with these? Let me know down in the comments. I really think Poison is just going to be in a great spot from now on. But maybe Trick Arrow is going to be, or Tactical Arrow, I should say, is going to be in a good position. Maybe this is going to help out Masterminds in a way that we didn't really get to see here. But that would be interesting. I wonder how that plus defense is going to help them. Weaken Resolve. They could even be Poison Masterminds. It's amazing. I'm glad that they made this change. Let me know if you think that it's for the better, for the worse. I hope that they do more like this. We have some other abilities here that we didn't even get to use very much yet, such as Gadgetry, such as... Actually, we can look at there. Nanonet, Blaster Drone, Jetpack, Drone Barrage, Force Barrier. We didn't get to use any of these yet. I want to use them. I want to use the Utility Belt. Some Bolas. Ooh, that'd be cool. Full Immobilize and Knockdown. I hope we get to use these someday. We got Sorcery. Ooh, Experimentation. Speed of Sound. Ooh, Self plus Speed. Toxic Dart. Looks lame. Corrosive Vial. Adrenaline Booster. I would love to get to explore those more, and if they do release them, I will definitely do more videos like this. Thank you guys for all of your support. My name is SB Jimmy. Yeah, I will see you guys in a little bit.